So we're going to, with the help of Allah, with the help of God, to begin our Jumu'ah khutbah service for today. And we know, as Muslim and believer, we follow the Sunnah and the tradition of Muhammad the Prophet over 14 centuries ago. We follow his tradition and his way. So we begin by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, with Allah's name, with God's name, the merciful, benefactor, the merciful redeemer. And we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And all the praises belongs to Allah, to God, the creator of everything that exists. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. We witness that Allah, that God is one, and he's single and alone and had no partner in the rule and keep and management of the heavens and earth. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. And we witness Muhammad is his honorable and generous servant messenger. Praise and peace be upon the last prophet. And we salute him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what follows in their excellent salutation tradition, traditional salute to the last prophet. We ask Allah, we ask God for his assistance always, don't we, brothers and sisters? Because we can't make it without God assisting us. So we ask Allah for his assistance. Yes, we do. That's real too, you know. And we seek him for forgiveness. And, you know, and dear Muslim, I'm sure you're listening to every word, because these are not my words. These are not my words. We seek him for forgiveness. I know I do, and I'm sure that you do. Because we all sin and we all make mistakes. So who do we go to and ask? I hope that's what we're doing. We go to Allah and ask him for forgiveness. For forgiveness. We seek his forgiveness. And we believe in him. And shouldn't we believe in him, the one who created us? That just makes good common sense. We believe in the one who created us, who made us, who created all these things that we see and don't see. Wow, isn't that something, if we are conscious of it? So we believe in him. And we witness that there is none divine. You heard that? And there is none that is divine. And none to be worshipped except Allah alone. Allah is the only one divine. God is the only one divine. Human beings are not divine, right? Allah is the only one divine. And we worship none except Allah alone. Right, Muslim? Worship none except Allah alone. And there is no partner with him in the rule and keep and management. No partner with Allah in the rule and the management of the heaven and earth. And something interesting in this opening introduction I wanted to say, when we say there's nothing divine, Allahu Akbar, nothing divine but Allah. And he is the one that is managing this whole creation, this whole universe. And if he wasn't managing it, it would cease to exist. Who else would do it? Who else could do it? Could manage this whole universe, this whole creation but God. Yeah. So he's the God of the universe, the heaven and earth. So it's interesting. We just talking because this is my family. This is my family, right? The believers are. We're a family. So when people say heaven, think about it. When people say heaven, what right now? If I ask you, where is heaven? Good question, right? Where is heaven? It's a rational question. Where is heaven? We should know where heaven is, shouldn't we? We trying to get there. I think we should know a little bit about heaven. Where is it? Where is heaven? If you ask the average person where is heaven, you know what they'll do? They'll look up. They'll look up. They say heaven is up there. And you know what? And they're right. They're right. To some degree, they're right. Don't they say heavenly bodies? Right. See, we'll listen to the language. They say what? Am I right or wrong? They say heavenly bodies. So people associate up there with heaven. But what? What's the rational logic for that? What's the rational logic for that? Order. Order. That's why they call them heavenly body. Because order up there. Peace up there. Go out there and look at it during the day and at night. Just look at the skies, the universe. Isn't it just so calm and peace? But then you come down here in these streets in Newark, and there's madness going on everywhere, right? Yeah. So the ancient people said there's heaven up there. There's heaven up there, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? There's heaven up there called the order, the heaven, the order and peace and tranquility that's up there. That's up there. But let me say something to us. Heaven is up there. And some of you know what I'm about to say. Don't you get spooky with me. This is the 21st century. We're in the 21st century. Don't you get spooky with me. We're in the 21st century. Heaven is also down here. That's what the wise learn, people. They know these things. We so spooky. We spooky. But we're going to change that, aren't we, brothers and sisters? We're going to change that. We can't be spooky. So heaven is down here. Imam, are you sure heaven is down here? I said it's up there and down here. Can you go up there? What can you do up there? What can you do up there without going up there with an airplane or some rocket ship? What can you do up there? But the suggestion is that what God had created up there, he wants us to make down here. I'm going to say a takbir to that, Allahu Akbar. And that's what we all should be working and striving to do. And God had created a heavenly order up there. We want to create a heavenly order on this earth. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? So let's be real technical now. So where's heaven? It's on your block. It's on your block. It's on your street. It's in your house. It's in your house, at your residence. That's where heaven could be. Am I right or wrong? That's where heaven could be. On your block. In your neighborhood. In your house. That's where heaven can be. That we can create a heaven right here on this earth. Allahu Akbar. I think we made that clear then. That's clear as day. Clear as day. So where's hell? You know where that is too, don't you? On your block. In your neighborhood. In your house. Maybe it's in your house. You know. Am I right or wrong? It could be in your house. You know, so I had to just put that in there. I kind of got a little bit off the thing, but you know, it's right on time. So we witness that Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is a servant and his messenger. Prophet Muhammad is Allah, God's servant and his messenger. The prayers and peace be upon him. and his descendants, and his descendants, and upon his companions. And what follows of this most excellent salutation or salute to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to read from our holy book, the Quran, Arabic, in the original language of Arabic. And when this was revealed in Arabic, the English language didn't even exist. Ooh. Oh, do you want to hear what I just said? The English language didn't even exist. Am I right? That's the fact. Didn't even exist. This is the Quran, the original language of our ancestors and our foreparents. Now, that's our sacred book. Our sacred scripture. And I want to read Surah chapter 103 in the Quran and try to make some comments real quickly. Okay? And I'm going to read it in Arabic, and then we're going to translate what Allah God revealed a revelation to Muhammad the Prophet, prayer and peace be upon him. And it's Surah Asr. Asr. That's Arabic. Asr. And the translation is, or time through the ages. Or time through the ages. That's the name of Surah 103 Asr, right? Time through the ages. And this surah is right on time. It's right on time. And it say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now, translation, with Allah's name, with God's name, the merciful. Benefactor, the merciful Redeemer. Wal Asr. Allah say, Wal Asr. By the token of time through the ages. Inna insana lafi course. Verily, Allah said, Revelation, verily humanity is in a state of loss. Revealed over 14 centuries ago. Look at the world today. Aren't we lost? The world is lost, brothers and sisters. You know it, and if you be true to your own self. The world is lost, in a state of law. Humanity in a state of law. You know that. In the third, this surah chapter have just 3 verses. Then the next one say, Illa ladina amanu wa amila salihati wa tawassaw haq wa tawassaw sabr. Then Allah said, then God explained to us. That's the Arabic. Now we translation in. Look who Allah. Let's listen. Because Allah didn't tell us who not lost. Except such as have faith, Allah say, and do righteous deeds and join together in the mutual teaching of truth and of patience and constancy. Now, Prophet Muhammad, as all students of the Quran, all Muslims know, we know that Prophet Muhammad and the basic for our talk or subject or topic today is what are the conditions, basis for Muslim unity? I'm going to say that again. What are the conditions, basis for Muslim unity? Isn't that a very timely subject too? Because Muslim too, whether we admit it or not, is divided, fragmented all over the world. We are not in unity the way we should be. Am I right or wrong? That's the truth. We're not in unity like we should be. So our topic and subject to today, with the help of Allah, is addressing what are the condition basics for Muslim unity. Now, in the Quran, Allah revealed in Revelation, our Lord, listen carefully to this here. Our Lord, surely we have heard a caller. Huh? That's in the Quran. Our Lord, surely have we heard a caller calling us to faith. Calling us to faith. That we should believe in our Lord. And we have believed. And we have believed. Now that's the Quran. Now, so who is Prophet Muhammad? It's obvious. Who is Prophet Muhammad? Why is he so important? Because he is a caller to faith. For Allah. Who else in the world is really doing that? I'm not going to disrespect other religious groups. They are doing it too. But who is the caller of the world to faith? That's Prophet Muhammad role. That's his role. And I'm going to digress for a moment, because I've been kind of dwelling on this for a little bit. Every decent human being on this earth should love Prophet Muhammad. You hear what I just said? Should love Prophet Muhammad. If you understand his life and his history, you should love Prophet Muhammad. Because he stood up 14 centuries ago. I want you to hear this here. Hear the truth. He stood up 14 centuries ago against tyrants, rulers, citadels, kingdoms, powerful kingdom. You hear me? 14 centuries ago, he stood up for the little person, for freedom, justice, and equality for us. These demagogues and rulers, authoritarians and everything who rule in empire. He stood up 1,400 years ago for us. And that's why we have the freedom we have today in this world, is because of Prophet Muhammad. I stand on that. That's why in the book, the 100 most greatest men, you heard about that, right? 100 most greatest men. Guess who the number one most greatest men? Most of us don't know about that. You know who they pick as the number one greatest man in history? Prophet Muhammad. Takbir. Because most of us don't know this history. We don't know this history. So he stood up. Yes, I get a little emotion because I think Allah understands the value of him. What that man did 14 centuries years, 14 centuries ago. Yeah, I get a little emotional. Yes, I do. 14 centuries ago. Stood up against these rulers and tyrants. That's not easy. That's not easy. But he stood up against them. So we can have what? Freedom, justice, equality. That's what he did. I'm a little bit off subject, but I'm on subject. Even what I just said right there, a decent human being. A decent, I don't care if you're a Christian, Jew, atheist, a Buddhist, a Hindu, I don't care what you are. I don't care what you are. When you know this history, you have to love Prophet Muhammad. Oh, he did that for us. He sacrificed his life for us. He had a family. He had a wife. He had children and all of that. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more. I'm a little bit off my subject, but I'm going to talk about him. But no, but it's right on the subject. It's right on the subject. Sometimes we think that he had it easy. Some think that Prophet Muhammad had it easy, though he's the messenger of Allah. He's the messenger of God. He had it easy. He's a prophet. He's a prophet. He had it easy. He had it easy. That's how a lot of us think. But let me educate you and inform you right now. And when I finish these statements, if you're a decent human being, you will love him too. You will love him. You will want to kiss. You will want to kiss him. I'm serious. You want to kiss him when you understand. So he had problems. It wasn't easy for him. That's what I'm trying to paint that picture for you. His brother and sister who know the history of Islam can bear witness what I'm saying. His own family, his own family turned against him. You know how hard that is? Your own family turning against you. You can talk to me. We can talk to me. That's hard. When your own family sometimes turn against you. I know some of you shake your head, come boy, this is true. Not his own family, his blood, but his relatives. Many of his relatives and friends turn against him. Oh my goodness! But he stayed the course as Allah's messenger and prophet. Alhamdulillah. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? And then I shared with you before to let you know his struggle. He went to Taif. He was invited to Taif to come to do dawah. But my mind is just jumping all over the place. Now I got to put this in there. Those who here listening, you know what I mean? You know, we got off track. When we lost the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in that experience, which we call the first resurrection of the Nation of Islam. We got off track. We used to fish. You know what fish mean? Going out there to get people and bring them to the faith. Bring the faith. Then we used to do that. Then we brothers and sisters, tell the truth, we used to do that. In Islam, we have dawah. That's in the Quran. Allah say invite all. That's what God tells us, who created everything. Invite all to the way of Allah, to the way of God. Give them an invitation to come to the way of Allah, way of God, with beautiful preaching. Here's my point. And I told my wife this today. We need to do some real soul searching. And I would tell my wife, it's the truth. I don't know when I last invited someone to come to the masjid. Can any of you raise your hand? No, but don't do it. When you have invited someone to come to the masjid, get an invitation? Probably none of us. Allah knows best. I'm just making a point. So what has happened? Oh, brother, that's in the first resurrection. Well, what the hell you think this is? The second resurrection. Still don't mean you should stop bringing people and invite them when Allah said in the Quran. That's from the Quran. Invite all. I'm talking to some of us. Some of us are going to hear, we got to do a little better. We got to do better. Invite all to the way of Allah with beautiful teaching. I don't need to say no more. We got to get back on track. Start inviting people, and we have some guests today. that my wife invited to come. My sister there, brother, invited to come. You see, brothers and sisters, don't we have some work to do? Don't we have to do some soul searching? You know? Okay. So I'm now interested about Prophet Muhammad when we just explained to you his struggle with his own family. He didn't have it easy. He had problems. That's the picture I'm trying to paint for. His own family, relative, your cousin, your cousin. You know what I mean? Your cousin. He had a problem with them. And some of his friends turn against him. Before he said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, they looked up to him and respected him. Oh, Rasulullah, oh, Rasulullah, oh, messenger. They call him El-Amin. And that's Sadiq. That's Sadiq. That's how they respected him. They honor him. There go El-Amin. They were seeing in the street. He had earned that character, right? There go El-Amin. He was walking the street. No spooky stuff. He walking the street. There go El-Amin. There go Sadiq. They recognized, looked at him, didn't they, brother and sister? They hear the trustworthy one. The trustworthy one. And also the truthful one, right? That's how they recognize him. As Sadiq and El-Amin, trustworthy and the truthful one. But as soon as he said to them, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but God. Can you imagine? Well, I just look at this stuff in real time. In real time. How will you feel with these people barbaric hoodlums back then? I want you to put yourself in the prophet position. Go out there in the street of Newark right now and tell people, I'm just getting to paint a scenario, that's what I'm doing, right? And started telling people, there is no God but Allah, and I'm his messenger. You see my point? How will you think they start looking at you? Now some of you getting the picture. Some of you are getting the picture. The picture. Yeah, you go out there and do that. So he went to his countrymen and everything and say, and he had to tell them. It took courage and guts for him to tell them, right? He said, if I told you that there was an army coming around those hills to attack you, that he was telling his own countrymen, brothers and sisters, he was telling them. He said, I told you there's an army that's coming here to attack you. He asked them, he said, will you believe me? I want you to put yourself in the prophet's shoes right now. He said, will you believe me? Will you believe me? Will you believe me? They said, oh yes, El-Amin, Sadiq, you are the trustworthy one. He earned that. You are the truthful one. He earned that. But soon as he told them, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, it was on. Right? It was on. They believed everything he said. What he stood for, his character, what he represented. But soon he said that, it was on. It was on. So you see why we love him? Now some of you understand. All of you should understand. Allah knows better. And Mashiach, so he went to Taif. You should remember this here. This is true. I'm not making this up. He went to Taif to deliver the message of Islam. And fast forward, we know when he went to Taif, they stoned him. They stoned him. Could you take that? They stoned him. And according to the history, they were throwing stones and rocks and everything at him. That you could see blood running down his body and his clothes. And they said you could hear you could hear blood in his sandals. That's how they treated him when he went to Taif, to tell them that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. This is real stuff, man. Nobody making this up. This is real. And he left Taif, barely alive. There's some more to that story because they said that he should have prayed to Allah to destroy them people. Look how wonderful he was. He said, Allah, don't destroy them. They may become your greatest follower and believers. You know what he said? It's been me. You beat me like that? You put that on me? You know what you would have done. Allah, kill them all. Kill them all. But he didn't do that. You know what that's what happened to him in Taif. In Taif. Are you still following me? I'm going to give you one more scenario, and I think all of you got the picture now. I'm going to give you one more scenario with this here. Praise be to Allah. I think it was 12 years. 12 years in Mecca. You hear me? 12 years. Almost 13 years in Mecca. I'm going to paint another picture for you so you can know that this is real and how we should believe in Allah and we should have a greater love for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Knowing this history and his sacrifice for humanity, not just Muslim, but for humanity. He did that for humanity. For 12, almost 13 years. Don't forget it. He was persecuted. He was persecuted in Mecca. You think I'm making this stuff up? He was persecuted, oppressed in Mecca, in his own homeland, the city of his birth, He was born there. He was born in Mecca, the venerated city, the sacred, holy city of Mecca, where the Kaaba is. He was born and raised there. Some of you are still with me. Have a greater love for Allah and a greater love for his messenger. That's the picture I'm trying to paint for all of us, and me too. His own countrymen, for 12, near 13 years, persecuted him, oppressed him. They did everything to him. Treated them so bad that Allah revealed to him to leave Mecca. Woo! Leave Mecca. Allah revealed, leave Mecca, your home, your native land, your home of your birth. Leave Mecca and go to Medina. So much of that history, but I'm going to give you this here, and then we're going to close out this first part. Alhamdulillah. 12 to 13 years in your native land, the city of your birth. Didn't I ask you all to put yourself in that situation? So you can understand the gravity and the magnitude of all this here. Sometimes that's what it takes for us to understand and appreciate. And love Allah and love his messenger. Now that you know his history, you should teach it to your children. And you should teach it to others. What I'm sharing with you now. So Allah revealed to him, it was so bad in Mecca, Allah said, leave Mecca and go to Medina. And go to Medina, the venerated city, the city of enlightenment, the city of enlightenment. And you all know the history. I'm not going to go through that. He went to Medina. Running and fleeing, running for his life, running from his life. Some of you know that, right? These streets. I put a little humor into it because sometimes some of us, we can't relate to this. Especially in Newark, and I love Newark. Newark is a good city. I love Newark. It ain't this. It's the city. It's the damn people. Newark ain't bad. Ain't none of the city's bad. It's really the no good people that don't stand up and protect their community, their neighborhood, their streets and everything. The people that makes the city. Am I right or wrong? The people that make the city. So Newark not bad. It's the people that won't stand up. That event was so significant in a historical perspective that the Islamic calendar began with Prophet Muhammad leaving, praise and peace be upon him, leaving Mecca to go to Medina. That was Hijrah 1. Don't forget that. The beginning of the Islamic lunar calendar. The beginning of the Islamic lunar calendar with him migrating from Mecca, the home of his birth, his native land, running for his life. Running for his life. Yeah, literally running for his life. And that's where our history began. 1 Hijrah, 2 Hijrah. I think we 14 something Hijrah from the time of Prophet Muhammad. That was so significant in the history of Islam. May Allah guide us always, Rabbina. Atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fi akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. And that is, our Lord, give us excellent life and give us excellent health to save us from the fires of sin and save us from the hellfire. Ameen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalam wassalam. Ala Rasulullahi Kareem. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, in trying to conclude this here, this surah, wal as, and our subject or topic for today, what are the condition, basis for Muslim unity? We understand the mission of Prophet Muhammad. He, and that's what I've been giving you. Understand this. He came to give us the meat, M-E-A-T, the meat of faith and belief in religion. That's what he came to do. That's his mission. He came to give us the meat of religion, faith, and belief. What have I been doing? I've been giving you meat. Giving you meat. That's language in scripture. Meat. You know, like I said, keep it real. Keep it real, brother. You know, when you hungry, if somebody bring you milk, what you gonna say? I put a little humor there because you can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? You are hungry, and they gonna bring you some milk. What are you gonna say? Amen. Keep it real, bro. That's all you got, some milk? Am I hungry, man? Isn't that what you're gonna say? They're gonna bring you milk? Okay, bring you some water? Or bring you some honey? They bring you all this stuff. I know what I would say to him. Man, I'm hungry. This not gonna do it. A little milk and water and a little honey. I want some meat. And that's what Prophet Muhammad came to do. Don't you love him? Don't you appreciate him? He came to bring us meat of faith and the meat of religion. That's so beautiful. And I got to mention the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm not afraid to speak my conscience. Thank you, Allah. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to be studious in religion. To be studious. You hear me, brother and sister? To be studious in religion. To study religion. No disrespect. Before Islam, I didn't give a lot of attention to religion. You know, we were all running the streets and doing everything. Don't look at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of us didn't respect the religion. But you got to give Honorable Elijah Muhammad credit. Right, brother? Give him credit. He the one that made me really study religion. To be studious. To be studious. To see religion as more than something just spiritual. To see religion as more than just singing song. Some people think religion just singing song. Singing song. And no disrespect, singing and don't know nothing. They don't know nothing, singing or shouting. No disrespect. They think that's religion. They think that's faith, right? Am I right or wrong? They think that's faith. And I'm not knocking them. But it is what it is. The truth is what it is. So, give him credit. Don't be afraid, brothers and sisters, to give Honorable Elijah Muhammad credit for making us students of religion, to study religion. That's what he did. It is more than just singing and shouting. That's how many of the brothers and sisters, they became very, very educated in matters of religion due to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and that discipline. Am I right or wrong? And that discipline. And I want to say this too. As Imam Muhammad mentioned, he said, but we made a mistake. How many of you read that statement about Imam? He said, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. Powerful for the Imam to admit that. That's the only way we're going to heal. He said, we made a mistake. And I can see it. And we on Facebook and conference call, we everywhere. I don't care. But we have to tell the truth. He said, we made a mistake. What was that mistake? We were exalting an organization, the Nation of Islam, instead of exalting the Islamic life. Elijah Muhammad meant well. He meant well. He did well. Look what he did. He built the whole community nation. But we made a mistake. How many of us would admit when we make a mistake? Yeah, I'm talking to us, and me too. How many of us will admit when we make a mistake? No, we'll try to lie and cover it up and everything, right? But Imam made it clear. That's how we're going to grow in progress. He said we made a mistake because we were exalting an organization called the Nation of Islam when we should have been exalting the Islamic life, the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah forgive us. But I take courage and bold to make that statement. So how do we rectify that? How do we rectify that? I'm saying to every brother and sister, every Muslim, you know what we're supposed to do? We have to carry. Ooh, yes, indeed. That's why I want to get back to that dawah. We have to now carry the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad the Prophet to all the people. And that's on every brother, and you too, sister, on every sister. That's our moral obligation and duty now to carry the Quran, Allahu Akbar, and the Sunnah of Muhammad the Prophet to all the people. Now, I think we're making that very, very clear. Now, let me close out. Praise be to Allah. With this statement, and that's it. Praise. I wanted to get more, but sometimes 45 minutes you can't. I shared a lot of things with you in 45 minutes. But the reality is you can't cover everything you want to cover. And I'm going to say to you, inshallah, if Allah bless me, with the help of Allah, next week I'm going to be back here doing the Jumu'ah, inshallah. If Allah bless me to live and see another week, I'm going to come back next Friday because I want to hit on the topic and subject for today. Is Surah Wal-Asr, the base. But the subject and topic is, what are the conditions and basis for Muslim unity? Inshallah, with the help of Allah, next week, I want to get more into that and kind of close out with this here, okay? And I'm not just saying, you know, I'm a straight shooter. Allah said, oh, you believe so? Really right. Oh, he just saying that because he wants us to come to Jumu'ah. You a lie. You should come to Jumu'ah anyway. Whether I said that or not. Allah knows best in everything. You free to do what you want to do. But because you're my brother and sister, I love you, and I think this is a very timely subject. And I'm going to say it again. What are the conditions and basis for Muslim unity? And I have invited the whole community. My brother and sister gave you a paper, and if you don't have it, all you should get it today. You should line up and get that paper today. The Muslim Journal newspaper. Get it today. In the back, it's $2. If you can't get the $2, get it free. Give it to them free. This is your paper, our paper and everything. Beautiful paper. Muslim Journal. Somebody just walk right past it and everything. It won't even support your own paper. That's a darn shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. So you can see why we're not where we want to be. I had to tell it like it is. Pass by your own paper. I don't care. I don't want to read that. But that's why we in hell. That's why we in hell. Because we're selfish. A lot of us just selfish. I'm just telling you, selfish just like that. Just like that. So that's the topic we're working on. What are the condition and basis for Muslim unity? Don't we need unity? Shouldn't all of us want to be unified and everything? Yes, indeed. So, dear Muslim, we are going to close out. It's close, right at 2 o'clock. Try not to go past 2 o'clock. But inshallah, if Allah bless us, we're going to continue this subject from Surah Wal-Asr and try to address this subject. It's going to be interesting because we are going to give you the solution. Allah has blessed us with the solution for the condition for Muslim unity, And I close with this here. Understand this here about your own nature and your own creation. We should always be in an Don't forget this word, in evolution mode. And I want to close with that. You hear me? Do you hear me, brother and sister? We all should always be in an evolution mode. Talking to me and you in the evolution mode. Why? Because the Quran say Allah, God created us to grow. To grow. To grow. How are you going to grow if you're not in an evolution mode? Evolution mode. Evolution means an evolving, right? An evolving mode. All of us, each and every one of us, should always be in an evolution mode. That's powerful. That's powerful. Because there are higher levels of human development. Let me ask you a question in closing. How many of you think that you are everything you should be, that Allah created you to be? I want you to raise your hand. You don't have to be afraid. You can raise your hand. We're good. I didn't think you were going to raise your hand. For all due respect, you can raise your hand. That would have been the dumbest thing that we could do. If you think that Allah has finished with you. If you think God is finished with you, with me. So what is my closing point? We should always be in an evolution mode. Always be ready to evolve. Whoa! To the next level of your development. Because believe it or not, Allah is not finished within of us. Some of us are going to go to higher form, higher level, and everything. Just like the seed that's so small. All this is wisdom. I'm giving you meat. Some of you not going to forget it. You're going to stay in your mind. I'm going to stay in that evolution mode because Allah is evolving me and I'm not finished. And some of you are going to end up being, who knows? Am I right or wrong? I love you, brothers. Some of you may end up being a owner of and a CEO of a big company, brother and sister, of an empire. Some of you may end up doing that, right? You don't know. Isn't that beautiful that you know that now? That I can go to a higher level, my potential and everything, by being in that evolution mode that God is evolving me each and every day. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And that is our Lord. Give us excellent this life and give us excellent in the next life, the hereafter. Save us from the fires of sins and save us from the hellfire. Ameen. Come and sit up.